This video is about my video setup. So the setup that I'm using to produce videos like this, where you see me in front of a background or in front of code that I'm showing. And I got asked a few times how I make videos like that, what my setup looks like. And well, I wanted to record a video to answer that question and also to be able to point towards it in the future. So the motivation why I built such a setup was, well, because I think it's just more enjoyable to watch somebody in front of a nice background, or if you want to show some code, for example, then somebody just in front of that code, while being able to see the presenter the whole time. So you get the feeling that the presenter is actually talking to you the whole time, without displaying any borders around myself. So you just cut in yourself in front of the code directly without any disturbing borders. And the technique for that is called chroma keying or green screening. So I have to tell you something. I'm not actually standing in front of Bangkok. This is how the truth looks like. This is the green screen I'm standing in front of. And this is, of course, illuminated by multiple lights. So what you use, well, a green screen. So green is a widely used color for it, which is illuminated properly. So you have an even color that is then rendered by the software. So you have to have, I'm using 4 multiple lights at least, because if you have a single light or 2 of these, then they would illuminate you and your body would cast a shadow to the background, which makes it harder to render. So this is why you need to have, well, a more sophisticated setup of lights. There are tutorials out there that explain it quite nicely how you should illuminate it. And then, well, this was the idea what I want to use for actually not only recording, but also another requirement for video conference calls. So if I built myself a setup like that, then I said, okay, I want to use it at least for multiple occasions. And then another motivation was, which affected my setup, that I don't want to, affect the presenter's laptop performance that much. Because if you use chroma keying, your software is rendering that current picture, and then it will drop off the performance quite a bit if at the same time you want to build, an enterprise project that takes then 10 times as long, for example. So for that reason, I'm actually using 2 computers. My presenter laptop that I'm using to present, that you see here with, well, anything that I'm coding at that time, and also a second computer that then runs my software on, well, in my case, a Windows machine with OBS, Open Broadcaster software. The reason why I use a Windows machine actually is, well, because I wanted or I needed a proper machine with a proper graphics card. So it's a gaming laptop, gaming computer, in my case, a desktop computer, that then uses, well, this proper card, a proper resource setup to be able to calculate this properly, plus a video grabber to use the input of my usual computer. So my usual presenter computer is just used as, well, all the time in the same way like usually, and the output goes into the secondary recording computer via a video grabber. So I use a video HDMI grabber to both, well, capture, of course, that input, and also a webcam that records the picture of myself. And then this OBS software is used to, well, do the chroma keying and to produce, well, either the recording or the streaming for the output. So there are actually virtual webcams available as plugins that you can activate. And then if you use, for example, Google Hangouts or any other conferencing software, then you can use that as if that were your proper webcam, and you can use it to show code as well, which is quite nice. Then also, as another motivation, I wanted to have like a proper video and audio quality. So especially a proper sound, because I'm showing live coding, and the typing on your keyboard shouldn't affect the audio that much. So I'm using a proper studio microphone actually with an audio interface that is connected to the recording computer, and that records all of that into my recording file or into the streaming output. And that's basically it. So I have these two computers, my usual computer, my usual laptop actually, then the recording computer that uses a proper microphone, an audio interface, a webcam, and this video grabber to grab the output of the first computer. And then of course the green screen with all the lighting, so I can do a proper job at chroma keying. And that's basically it. A few things you might want to take into considerations or into account is I actually had some audio delay. You need to track for that you have a proper, first of all, audio quality. So you might want to change or enhance your videos afterwards. And well, I had a delay first of all, so you need to render that out to detect how much delay you have, because it's just mixed together from two distinct sources. I use not the webcam microphone, but the different one. And well, also I personally recommend to use a setup that is easy to use and fast to set up. So actually, if you have the chance. So this is built in my basement, where it's also dark. So it needs to be dark. Otherwise, if you have sun shining on one side, this would of course affect the lighting and the color of your resulting green screen. And also a setup that is, well, fast to set up. So I can walk in, turn on the light, plug in my laptop, and that's it. Because otherwise, if you have to, well, change the setup of especially the lamp positions, then this is quite, well, it takes a long time to set up to record a single video, and also the quality, the results vary, right? That was another another thing you want to take into account. And that's then basically it. So that's basically all I'm using for this type of setup, the approach. And I will post a few products that I'm using in my blog. I don't want to do any or much advertising. It also doesn't matter that much for the specific tools or the specific devices that you're using. Just use whatever works for you if you want to build a similar setup like that. But these were my motivations that I had. So ultimately, videos that are nice to watch. So that's my main goal, to have something that is enjoyable to watch. And then a setup that is also easy to use and that I can use for multiple occasions. And that's basically it. So I hope that answers your question. And well, maybe you build up a similar video setup. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.